Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be setting up a fully automated barn today. Now, with this setup, you are going to be able to order your supplies, sit back, relax, and watch all of your little employees work. Now, this is going to be a super simple setup, so we are just going to get right into it. Now, for this setup, you're going to want 4 handlers, 4 chemists, and 2 botanists over here. As you can see, the barn is completely empty over here. This is going to be a fully automated coke operation here with the best 8-stage mix that you could make in the game, as far as I know. And it should make you a huge profit. We are going to be skipping drying racks today because, you know what, those things are just a waste of time. They take so long to dry, and it's just not worth the time. So let's go ahead and grab some stuff off of our racks here. Grab some supply racks, get us some pots in our little inventory here. Now the cauldrons here, we're going to actually put these dudes in the back over here. Now you're going to place it to the left of the pole just like that, then another one to the right of the pole, and then to the left and to the right, just like that. And then ovens, you're actually going to set facing this direction, but you're actually going to place it against the pole right in front of it here. And you're actually going to not put it all the way to the right of the pole, but you're going to bring it over to. And that's going to make sure that these go evenly in the middle, perfectly like so. Now everything's lined up, it's looking good. Now, of course, we're going to need a supply rack to supply the gasoline going to the cauldrons, which is going to go right here. And this is a little bit weird, but we're going to run all 16 pots for our 2 botanists over here on the wall, just going straight down the side right here. It's going to make a super cool streamlined look to where all of your growing is going to be on this side. All your mixing is going to be over on that side. It's going to be a great time. Now for this, I usually do 2 supply racks back here for the 2 botanists. And then we got 8 mixing stations to hook up here. So we're going to start 1 there, 1 there, and then we're going to put 4 on this side. And then flip this around, put 4 on this side over here. And just like that, that's looking good. Now you don't really need the extra racks for extra supplies. If you want to have an overstock and overflow going, you can do that, but with this setup, the handler is just going to run it straight from the van, straight to the mixer. I know it's not super efficient to do it that way, but it's going to be fully automated and you can just sit back, relax, and watch it all go down. All right, last thing to do is set up the rest of our plant pots here. We got to put the lights above it. Make sure all of our little planties get all of the sunlight that they need. Voila, grow operation in play. That looks good. I love it. Sitting on the wall right there is doing great. And now we're going to take the brick machine and we're going to put it right at the end of these mixing machines, because the first stage is going to go here. It's going to go here, 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 and go all the way around, all the way to the end brick press right there. And then we are going to have 4 storage racks set up in the middle just like this. Now this is going to hold all of our end product. We're going to have a handler take it from like 1 storage rack, move it to the next and next and next, so we could have 4 full racks all filled up and ready to rip, and get all of our dealers filled up, get us filled up. Not super necessary to have all this extra storage space, but you know what, we have an extra handler, so we're going to use the extra spots. Now I'm just going to leave these racks sitting up here for a little bit of extra storage space in case we need it. But let's go ahead and start setting up our little botanist here, because we're going to start it with growing, then we're going to move it over to the mixing stations and processing stations and stuff like that. But first things first, we got to assign the locker, and I already have the locker set up upstairs here. They are all placed sideways along the fence up here in the loft. And then we have our bed to the side right here so we could sleep soundly. Let's go ahead and assign our first botanist their locker right there. And then we are going to have them pull from the supply rack right there. And then assign him the first 8 pots. Bam, all assigned up. Now we just got to do the same thing to the second one. All right, you get a locker, and then your supplies are going to be right next to the other rack over here. That way they could have plenty of supplies to run with. They both get their own rack, and the supplies will last a couple days. So we're going to be setting up all 16 pots over here, split in between these 4 cauldrons. So it's going to be 4 pots per cauldron. Grab the first 4 pots. Now we don't care about seeds or additives, so we are going to set the end destination to this first cauldron here. So all the end product will go straight into here. get bubbled up, boiled up, and then straight over to the lab oven over here. Then we just got to run this down all the pots here, sign all the cauldrons, and we should be good to go. And last set of 4, let's go ahead and manage, and we're going to set that to the last cauldron over here. Sweet, that is looking fantastic. Now each cauldron is going to get its own lab oven, so we're just going to manage destination over to here, and then go down the line. Assign you to here, and then you to over here. Now we are going to take the end destination of all these lab ovens to the first mixer, which is going to be right here. Then we're going to assign this mixer 10 thresholds, set it to this destination over here, and then we're just going to keep kind of going down the line here, bring it to here, and then we're going to threshold 10, send it over here, and then we're just going to keep going down the line until we get to the brick press. Bam, all of them should be set. So we got arrows going down, 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 going over, down, 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 and to the brick press, and then end destination of this feller gonna go right here. And that should be the entire line all put together. Now we just got to order supplies. And we also have to set all the filters so none of this stuff gets mixed up. So I like to make the first 3 blocks here for soil and the rest for seeds. That way we always have plenty of seeds, and I know the soil lasts like 3 grow cycles, so it does last a little bit longer than the seeds. So that's exactly why I like to set it up this way. And since we're setting these all to a designated supply, nothing should get mixed up in here, and then we could just order everything, have our handler unload everything onto the racks for us. We could sit back, relax, and watch everybody work, just like a kingpin should. All right, both of these supply racks are set with their filters. Now, the other thing we're going to want to do is go to all of these mixing stations, and we're going to set all of our filters for the mixes here. That way, when the handler unloads from the van and goes straight to the mixer, he's not mixing up any of the resources, and he's not putting stuff in here that is not supposed to. So this big, expensive mix of ours, 8 stage, is going to start off with motor oil. Set the filter there so the dude can't mix it up. Then we're just going to go down the line here, followed by kook, and then para, gasolina, another kook, followed by a battery, some good old horse semen, and finally we're going to wrap this all up with the mega bean. Now let's go ahead and put in some deliveries. Now we are going to order some soil here, and we're not going to want a whole bunch. We're just going to want 30 soil per rack. So we're going to put in an order for 60 soil here. We're going to send that straight to the barn, first loading dock there. And then if you have your relationship status up with the person that you buy your cocoa seeds from, you could actually order it straight to your barn without a problem as well. But we don't have that option, so I'm going to have to go pick that up by myself. But let's go ahead and put in our order. Now we're going to be able to order 40 pieces of each item on the mix here. So we're going to want motor oil, 80 kook because we put that in twice, 40 para, gas, batteries, horse semen, and then finally some mega bean. And then we're going to set that straight to the barn, loading dock number 2. Perfect. Now we got our resources coming in. We got some soil coming in. I just got to get some seeds and we'll have this place run in no time. Now that we're waiting for our destination to come in, let's go ahead and start assigning our chemist here. Give them a handy dandy locker. Now we are going to assign this first one all to the cauldrons, just like so. All right, all those are assigned to our first chemist, and then we're going to grab the second chemist, assign them to a locker, of course, and then they are going to be assigned to the 4 lab ovens. Just like so. Perfect. And now we got 2 more chemists, and we are going to assign them to the mixing stations over there. First chemist of the mixing stations is going to get the first 4 right here. And then the last chemist is going to run the last 4 mixing machines over here. Sweet. Now we got all those set, and destination of everything is all set. We got all of our chemists all set up. We got all of our people pushed aside because we got our van interrupting our space right now, but that is perfectly fine. And another thing you're going to want to set filters on is the rack in the back by the cauldrons. You're going to want to set everything to gasoline back here. Just like that, all slots are set to gas, so nothing can get mixed up on here. And then the handler is going to go ahead and run all that gasoline to all these cauldrons. 100% automated, I promise. Now we're going to want to grab our first handler here, and the little dude is going to be assigned to his locker, just like so. And then we are going to want to assign the same handler to the brick press over here, and then we're going to use all of his routes. He is going to run from the van and then just kind of stock everything. So we're going to have them run to the first two supply racks over here to supply our botanists with everything that they need. And we're also going to take that same handler and assign it to the loading dock again. And we're going to have this one run all the way back here to fill up the shelf with gas back here. We're going to have all of our supplies run on this loading dock. So all of our seeds, our dirt, and our gasoline for the back there is all going to be run on this one loading dock over here. And then we're going to use the second loading dock to load all of our supplies, so we can keep ordering 2 vans at once and never get held up. We're going to grab this same handler. It's got a couple routes left, so we are going to go ahead and run from this van over here and start hitting all the mixing machines for supply. Now, it doesn't matter which order you set these up in, all of them are filtered out and everything should just work out perfectly. And now we're on the new handler, gonna run it from loading dock number 2 and run it to all of these mixing machines in here. It's a whole lot of running around for the handler, but the fact that you could sit back, order stuff, and not even have to worry about filling anything, like, this is the dream. And last route here, we are gonna run it to here. So we're gonna need one more handler that's gonna be able to run that machine right there and stock it up. And for the final route here, let's go from the dock over to the last mixing machine over here. And now we're going to use the next few routes to run gas from that rack and fill up these cauldrons here, so these guys never turn off. So supply rack, cauldron, supply rack, cauldron, supply rack, cauldron. Then the last route is going to be for the last cauldron here. Now everything should be set up, and we have one extra handler. Like I said, you don't necessarily need him, but he is quite nice to have. Give him his very own locker, just like all of his brethren. And then basically we're just gonna have him run the end product from here over to here, and then there to there, and then there to there. That way all these racks can fill up with product and we never run out of space. Like I said, a little bit unnecessary, but I like to have the extra storage so I don't have to come through here very often and empty things, and everything could just keep running and run it over the last rack, and everything should be perfectly set up. All right, went out, bought a bunch of cocoa seeds. It's the next morning, by the way, but look at this. We got all this filled up. We got all this filled up. We just got to get the soil in here, get all the employees paid, get them working. We got seeds. We got resources waiting in our vans. All we got to do is pay everybody. All right, start with the botanists so they can get running. We're going to give everybody $2,000 so they can work for a few days here. All right, all we got to do is wait here and see if everyone starts filling up everything. We got the handler bringing in dirt for the botanists over here. We got the botanists working. We got people filling up the mixers with supplies. Everything seems to be working out quite well. And the only extra thing that we need is we are going to have to order some extra gasoline to supply all the cauldrons, which we're going to order 160 of that, and we just got to wait for them to unload our van here, and then we're going to send it over to loading dock number 1, which we already know that the handler is assigned to that to bring gas back there just for the cauldrons. Now I'm gonna wait here for a while, watch these guys grow, but the reason you want to make sure everything that is getting supplied is towards the front is because the barn is big enough to where you got to factor in footpath speed, because these guys do not walk very fast, so they take a while to supply things. So the closer you have it to the door, the better. The more efficient it's going to be, and in the end, you're going to make more money. You're going to make more money because people have a shorter distance to walk. Never thought I'd say that, but there it is. I'll bring you guys back after our sweet cocoa plants are starting to get their first little leaves. Oh, and our first little seedlings are starting to pop. Look at these beautiful things. It is such a beautiful sight to see money growing right in front of your eyes. Gotta bring that fine product to our people. Make everyone happy in town and, you know, increase work production because, yeah, makes you real excited. Now I will bring you guys back when these guys start growing up all the way. They start cutting some leaves, start loading up some cauldrons. Oh, look at that. Our first cauldron Got a little bit of gasoline in it. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So Jeffrey's gonna come back here, load the shelf up with gas, and there we go. Beautiful sight. Here we go. We have our first cocoa being harvested up. All these other ones are pretty close to being done here. Now this guy should take this straight over to the cauldron. Come on, Brandon, do your job. I know you could do it, Brandon. Come on. Now he's gonna bring it over to the cauldron over here. Let's make sure he did his job. Oh, yep, leaves are in there. Yeah, buddy. Now all these dudes should harvest all this up, fill these cauldrons all the way up, and then the chemist should come over and start cooking. Everything is running nice and smoothly. Everyone is doing their job as they should be. Everyone is planting, everyone is harvesting, and our chemist is over here about to start the second cauldron. Let's go. And bam, we have 2 cauldrons running. Now we just got to wait for the botanist to fill up these 2 and then wait for them to start sending stuff over to the oven. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Oh, and there's our output. We got 10 cocoa all cooked up. Now we just got to wait for our chemist to come back out here, grab the goods, and then transfer it to the lab oven, hopefully. Always got to test your builds after you build them, otherwise your builds just ain't gonna work. There's always a missed chain and link. And our other chemists just cooked the stuff that our other chemist just moved over here, so everything is working flawlessly. Now we just got to wait for it to go from this stage over to the mixing process. Good morning, good morning. My chemists are out and about. They're ready to rock and roll. They're gonna start working here. All the stations are done at once since I slept overnight. All right, you should break this up and go ahead and bring this to the first mixing station. Here we go, first product in the first mixing stage. Oh, we got a full 20 in there, let's go. Next chemist job in action. Kimberly, you're doing a fantastic job. Don't look at me like that. I like the way you work your wrist though. That's a new move. Never had that done before. And the first stage of the mix is rolling. All right, now we just gotta wait for all of this to go all the way through here and get to the press. And then we can see the final name of the final product that's gonna come out of all of this chaos. And our ending product is gonna come out to Girl Scout Cock. Just what I've always wanted. Now, if we just leave that in the machine, our chemist should come over here and place it into the brick press for us. And then our handler should come over here and press this out and shove it over on the storage shelf over there. And there he goes. Good job, Jeffrey. You my boy. All right, you go ahead and put that brick over here on the shelf for me. Perfect. That's what we're talking about. And now the other handler should go ahead and come in here. Then he's just going to play hopscotch with this. He's going to move it from that shelf to this shelf, that shelf to this shelf, and that shelf to this shelf. And there it is, the final destination. All right, let's check out the side effects of this guy. We got Foggy, Tropic Thunder, Long Face, Cyclopean, Bright-Eyed, Glowing, Anti-Gravity, and a Zombifying. Now those are the top mixes if I haven't ever seen it myself before. Now if we go ahead and check out the products screen here, we can look at Girl Scout Cock, which is suggested price of $735. Now if we times that by 1.6, the rule of the suggested pricing list that you could put stuff up for, it comes out to $1,176. Now you can't change the price to that high, but you could change it to $999, and your customers should offer you at least $1,000, if not $1,200 if you try and counter offer them for one single piece. Talk about a profit. It's the next morning. All right, now that everything is in full swing here, I'm gonna go ahead and let everything run for a day, and we are gonna see how many bricks can be made in a day from this little barn, and then we're gonna do the math and see how much money it adds up to. I'll see you guys in what, 5 business days? Sounds about right. And voila, it is 4 a.m. and we got some bricks. We got 3 bricks over on the storage rack, and we have 1 that could have gotten done. So we're just gonna go ahead and, you know, do it ourselves real quick just for testing purposes here. So we got 4 bricks in total at $1,000 per piece. That would be $20,000 per brick, which would lead us to a grand total of $80,000. Now that's not bad for a day. $80,000 in a day? I gotta say, that is a pretty good amount of money. Now, as I was watching them through the day, a way you could get a little bit more efficient is take away the handler, which would be this guy for us. He handles the extra storage racks right here for the extra end product. You could get rid of that handler, get another botanist, and then set up some pots going across right here, assign him to those, just give him one of the racks over here, and then your leaf output would be a little bit higher, which would keep your cauldrons running more consistently, and you should get maybe like 1 more brick by the end of the day. But there you have it, a super simple, fully automated barn setup. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to smash that like button. It super helps me out, guys. Super small channel here, trying to grow, doing my best. Subscribe if you haven't already to see some more awesome content by me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.